Put down the people pleasing hats. Take them bitches off. We not doing none of that no more. If you're the friend in the friend group that like people know they can come to you and ask you anything, you have no fucking boundaries. Like people know like I'm finna use this bitch. Like, hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is your girl gabriellechante. If you are new here, go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Leave a comment if you would like. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So if you clicked on this video, you more than likely are somebody who thinks you're a people pleaser. You probably are a people pleaser, or you probably are somebody that doesn't set boundaries or isn't good with those kind of things. And I was too. And that's what we're going to get into. What I want you guys to do, stop this video for a minute, pull out your phone, get your notes out, or go get you a piece of paper and a pen or whatever the hell you need to get yourself together. And let's dive right into how to not be a people pleaser. Coming up, I was very like insecure and like, I was insecure because if you guys watch my videos, then you guys have probably already noticed I have a burned left hand, okay? And I'm actually super comfortable with it now. I honestly forget that my left hand is burned. I'm super duper happy that I've reached that level of comfortability within what happened to me. And long story short is I did it to myself. I placed an iron on my hand as a child. You know, I had to have a skin graft, all the other stuff. But that's neither here nor there. Like coming up as a kid, you know, like kids are super like fucking mean. And the main thing when you're a kid, you want to be liked. So what did I resort to as a kid that carried on into my adulthood and all the other stuff was I became a people pleaser. I wanted to be liked. So when I was around my friends, I didn't have much of an opinion. I just really wanted people to like me, really wanted people to enjoy me. And because I felt if you liked me, you wouldn't notice my flaws or anything that I felt was wrong with me. So that's kind of my backstory. Fixing this has been a lifelong journey, and I only started it a few months ago, but I ended up doing a series of prompts that I'm going to pull up on my iPad right quick, and I want you guys to do these prompts as well. So let's get right into it. The name of this document that I have is You Are No Longer a People Pleaser. That is what I wrote to myself. That is what I titled this document I'm going to be reading out. And of course, I'm going to put pictures up here and let you guys see that this is a real document. And I'm going to show you guys the dates on this. Like, this is a real document. This is something I really did. And it's not just me getting on camera to talk to y'all. Like, this is something I'm actively doing and breaking cycles within myself. So the first thing that helped me understand my people pleasing and why I did it was I had to be honest. I had to genuinely be honest and say, I'm a people pleaser. And that's kind of like what I did, you know, like I expand and overcompensate and do all these things because I want to be liked so much and so bad. So the first prompt was be honest with who you are. I wrote, I am an insecure people pleaser with self-esteem/love issues stemming from my childhood. I don't see my own worth. Instead, I equate my worth to what those around me feel I am worth. My insecurities and feelings of inadequacy make me attention-seeking and subconsciously desperate to feel of value to someone. My own happiness is scored by if others are happy with me. When others compliment me, I shy away, thinking it's humble pie I am eating, but in reality, I do not feel worthy of the compliment. I overcompensate on what others think of me. I try to think and feel for them. If I do this, you will feel happy and show me affection. You cannot be offended by me, mad at me, disappointed, etc. My inability to accept not being liked has made me selfish and easily disrespected. I am not as genuine as I have told myself or confident. That was me being honest with who I was and where I was in the moment. And I have no shame in my game. Like, that's just genuinely how I felt. And you are going to know you are a people pleaser when you can sit down. If you can't say anything nice to yourself, if you can sit down and say all these amazing qualities and things about like a friend of yours or like your mom or anybody that's around you in your circle, but you can't do the same thing to yourself, it's because you spend more time invested in other people. If someone were to ask you, what are the good qualities about yourself? Or if you realize that, say for instance, if you're the friend in the friend group that like people know they can come to you and ask you anything because they know you're a people pleaser. You have no fucking boundaries. Like, people know, like, I'm finna use this bitch, like, or I'm finna use this nigga. Like, people know that. And that was something I had to be honest about. My friends always came to me to ask me the X, Y, and Z's and can you do this and can you do that? And I was one of those people that I said yes to everything. And I would feel terrible when I had to cancel on people. I would stack my fucking schedule up with, I'm going to go do this at 3 o'clock with this friend, be back to do this at 5 o'clock with this friend, go over here and do this with this friend at 8 o'clock. And then I could still circle back and hit the club at 10. And then I would end up canceling on people because I just can't do that. And that was my inability to say no to shit because I just want you to still fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? So like, that was kind of like where I was at one point in life. And what I'm telling you to do now is you kind of have to be honest. Like, you got to be honest and say that, yeah, this is me. These are the things I'm doing. And we can get more into why we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? The next prompt I gave myself was, I asked, in what areas do I overcompensate the most? Do I extend myself the most? Do I just do the fucking most and it stresses me out internally? But like, I don't show it on the outside because I'm trying to keep on a brave face and be liked. This is what I wrote. Mainly my relationships. I tend to reek of desperation because I want to feel something so bad. I want someone to need me. I truly do want things to revolve around me because somehow in my head they never have. I have always internalized being second best, whether it was with my brother, my friends, or relationships. I was always this person's sister, or I was always the girl that lost by 3 votes during homecoming season. And this is what others thought of me, and it's not what I thought of me. That is what I wrote for the areas where I overcompensated the most. And as you guys can hear in that, I also validated that the reason I overcompensated the most for people to like me is because I've always felt like a second best person. Even at school, like, I noticed that, like, because I had no backbone and nothing that I felt good about myself, I always gravitated towards these really rambunctious and obnoxious personalities for friends. Even as a child, like, because I was so desperately to be liked, like, I hung around these people that had these really bold, strong, attractive personalities. And I realized I do that is because I didn't have that backbone and that grit and that roughness and that toughness about myself. And it always made me feel second best because I'm so busy shimmering in the corner. These are the people that are going to stand out, the people that are going to talk, speak their mind, run their mouth, and just be these really bold personalities. And once I got older, I realized I was attracted to that because I wanted to internalize and kind of be that. So the next thing I did was I wrote down a bunch of complaints that I had in life, because most of the time, like, when you are having all these complaints and all these things and all the other stuff, it's because you don't have the courage to step up and change shit. Get your ass up and do it. That's all you got to do, is get your ass up and do it. So my complaints were, and these are not complaints I have with other people, complaints I had with myself. I am tired of allowing people to talk to me and respond to me when they want. I'm tired of allowing people to choose me or choose when they want to support me. I am tired of having to explain myself in detail because I feel like I owe that to people. I'm tired of not being able to connect to people who feed my spirit because I'm trying to be something that I'm not. I'm tired of having to be the comedic relief so others feel comfortable when in reality, I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of having to do things for the sake of not being seen as selfish. I'm tired of engaging in conversations that do nothing for me. And I'm tired of staying engaged with anything, period, just to be not seen as a bitch. I'm one of those people that felt like no would destroy someone else's spirit. Fuck my mental health, fuck what I got going on. If I tell this person no, it's going to destroy their spirit. But it's like, if I truly don't want to do it, or I truly don't want to go, or I truly just don't see a reason for me to engage in it, period, how is that me being a bitch? A lot of my complaints came from me not being able to say no, or I'm not tolerating that, or I'm not doing that, or I'm not indulging in that. Like, that's literally all of my complaints came back to, what are my boundaries, you know? After I wrote down my complaints, I took that same list and I began to create boundaries, okay? Boundaries are so important in life. People won't even tell you that, or how important boundaries really are. They are absolutely, absolutely, incredibly fucking important, okay? They are. The really, really important ones for me were: stop rambling and going into detail about your life. Answer questions you feel comfortable answering and politely decline what you don't. When you overshare, you incline people to think they should know your business. Setting a boundary on what people know. There's some things that happen to me or I go through, I don't feel the need to share. And that's with anybody. I just don't feel the need to share, because the more you run your fucking mouth, The more you are disrespecting your own boundary and saying, I prioritize you knowing my business over me keeping my business private, and that's just that. Another one for me was, if others are uncomfortable in your presence, understand you are not obligated to make anyone feel comfortable around you. Enjoy the silence. And what I mean by that is, I oftentimes, when I meet people, I'm always the one breaking the ice. I'm always the one that's, let me just go ahead and talk to this person because we can get this over with. In reality, I don't got to do none of that. We can both sit here and be silent. I could play on my phone, play on my iPad, play my Switch. You can do your thing. And if you're uncomfortable around me, or if you feel like I'm too quiet, or you feel like I'm stuck up, I got a resting bitch face or anything like that, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. I don't have to always be the one that's engaging and breaking the ice and making other people feel comfortable, because sometimes a bitch be tired of doing that. Your boundary is going to lie within what you allow to stay within your space that does not serve you. So the next thing I did was I broke up my things into my haves and my wants. I broke up the things that I feel like I have to do, things that are non-negotiables for me. The last thing I put was self-growth. I refuse to be stagnant in my character, in my body, in my physique, in my mind, in my mental, emotionally, all that other stuff. I refuse to be stagnant. I want to become a successful, very in-depth, emotionally intelligent person. Self-growth is going to always be a thing for me. Then I broke it down into, what are my wants? My wants were I want to do weekly solo dates. I want to make new friends. I want to start learning new recipes. I want to indulge in something artistically, whether it be music, art, museum, whatever. I want to indulge in something artistically. And I also want to read more books. The last thing I really want you guys to keep, please put this in your notes, is going to be WIDD. WIDD. This is what you are going to take into account when someone asks you to do something and it's a push or a testament of your time and your boundary. The first question you're going to ask yourself in WID is, will it affect me negatively if I commit? The next thing I want you to ask yourself is this reasonable? Is this a reasonable request? And reasonable could be whatever is in the bounds of reasonable with you. If somebody's an able-bodied, walking human being, and they're like, can you tie my shoe? And you're like, what's wrong with you? And they're like, I just want you to tie my shoe. That's when the boundaries are definitely going to need to come up. Yeah, they're going to need to come up. Next thing I want you to ask yourself is, do I really have time to do it? Time is money. People try to neglect it. Time is fucking money. So it's like, if I stop or if I go out of my way to do this for you, what am I neglecting that I could spend time on? Whether it be my studies, whether it be creating content, whether it be going to the gym. Do I have the time to do this for you? Because remember, you've wrote down your halves and your non-negotiables, things that you have to get done. Will I be taking away from my halves? Fuck your wants. Will I be taking away from my halves? And then the last thing you're going to ask yourself in WID is, do I actually want to do it? Like, sometimes you could have the time. Sometimes it could be a reasonable request. Sometimes it won't affect you negatively. But but shit, do you really want to do it? And if you don't really want to do it, what can somebody else do to you? I hate when people act like you saying because I don't want to is not a valid answer. It's the most valid answer you could give a motherfucker. I don't want to. Sue me. I don't want to do it. And nothing's wrong with you not wanting to do anything that you don't want to do. Like, no, I don't want to go to the movies with you. I just don't. No, I don't want to visit this museum. I just don't. No, I can't make it to the coworker party after work. I just don't want to come. I don't want to be around y'all. And it doesn't have to be a specific reason. You just don't want to do it. Take this today. You saying I just don't want to is always going to be a valid reason. And that's never going to be, it's probably not going to be valid for somebody else, but it's going to be valid for you. Like I said, put down the people-pleasing hats. Take them bitches off. We're not doing none of that no more. We're not going to be selfish, self-serving people, but we're not going to overextend and overcompensate in every area area of our life because somebody else wants us to. We're not doing that. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. I'm going to reiterate these steps again. Be honest with who you are and where you are. Focus on where you overcompensate the most. Write down a list of complaints you have in life. create a list of boundaries for those complaints, discuss the halves that you have to do, discuss your wants, and then wid it out, baby. Wid it out. Will it affect me negatively? Is it reasonable? Do I have time to do it? Do I really want to do it? Point blank, period. That's all you got, and that's all I got for you. Thank you guys so much if you made it to the end of this video. Hopefully I helped somebody else out by being vulnerable and sharing with you guys about me. So yeah, that's all I have, and I'll see you guys on the next video. So bye.